This session is about naming threats to liberty in the world today. Some are old, some are new.
When a country can come interfere in another country's elections, that is warfare. It really is, because you're making sure that the democracy shifts from what the people want to giving out that misinformation. And we didn't just see it here. You can look at France and you can look at other countries. They are doing this everywhere. This is their new weapon of choice. And we have to make sure we get in front of it. And I can tell you our intelligence agencies are working overtime now because there's just so much when it comes to cyber threats that we have that we're having to deal with.
And I'd like to talk a bit about how do we make the case to the American people.
Why are Americans anti-Russian, and why have we done the sanctions? Well, don't interfere in our elections, and we won't be anti-Russian. And I think we have to be so hard on this, and we have to hold them accountable, and we have to get the private sector to understand they are responsible for this too. We all have to step up from this event.
Right now about the future of the liberal democratic order. So we're going to start another one here today.
Russia can't necessarily win anything. They don't have a big enough military. They don't have a strong economy. So they insert themselves in every situation to create chaos.
The liberal order.
We do have a lot of threats, but we also have to remember that leadership matters. So our biggest threats, obviously, North Korea, Iran, ISIS. Those are the three, because we have to always make sure we're doing everything we can to protect Americans and our allies.
And that is the American people. We've often been described as reluctant internationalists. And
when the president made the decision to hit Syria, and after the chemical weapons, when he made that decision, the number of calls and emails I received from countries saying it's so good to see America lead again was amazing. And it was enlightening to me because they felt like we had been dormant, and they really feel weaker when the U.S. doesn't lead.
And it's alive and kicking today. So thank you for hosting us in this city.
We're also looking at the peacekeeping issues. The budget, we've been spending 28% in funding the UN, but what we saw was every challenge that came up, they were throwing more peacekeepers at it. But they were never checking to see if they were trained. They didn't make sure they had the equipment. If we're going to do something, do it smart. Do it right. And so we've cut off $700 million of the peacekeeping budget at the UN, but we didn't cut helping people.
About naming threats to liberty in the world today.
I do think when we have these trade agreements, there's nothing wrong with going back and looking at them. There's nothing wrong with seeing if we can make them better. So I don't see us tearing up any deals. If that was the case, we would have done it already. I do see the fact that, you know, this is an administration who said, let's go back and look and see, can we make it better? It was so nice to see. Let's get together sometime. I'd love to hear your story.